My child, if you are alone right now, do not ignore this moment. Do not scroll past this. Do not turn away. Do not let the silence around you become louder than my voice. I am speaking to you now because I see what has been happening in your heart. I see the room you are in. I see the quiet around you. I see the thoughts that have been moving through your mind when no one else is there to notice. This is not just loneliness. This is a battle. Hour by hour, day by day, the enemy has been trying to use your silence against you. He has been whispering through your tiredness, through your disappointments, through the unanswered questions you carry. He has been trying to make you believe that you are forgotten, that your prayers are too small, that I am far away, that you must face everything by yourself. But my child, I am here. I have not left this room. I have not stepped away from your pain. I have not forgotten the sound of your voice, even when your prayers became quiet. That is why I am stopping you now. Not to frighten you, but to protect you. Not to condemn you, but to call you back before the darkness speaks another lie over your heart. Stay with me for a moment. Let the noise become still. Let your heart breathe. I am beside you. And what I am about to speak is meant for the part of you that has felt alone for far too long. And what I am about to speak is meant for the part of you that has felt alone for far too long. My child, this moment is not random. You may think you only clicked on this message because the house was quiet, because your mind was tired, because you needed something to fill the silence. But I know why you are here. I know what your heart has been carrying. I know the heaviness that follows you, even when no one else can see it. I see you in the quiet places. I see you when the day is over and the noise finally fades. I see you when the room becomes still, but your thoughts do not. I see you sitting with questions you have tried to ignore. I see you reaching for distractions, not because you are careless, but because the silence has started to feel too heavy. You have been carrying more than you admit. You carry responsibilities. You carry memories. You carry pressure. You carry words people said that still echo in you. You carry disappointments you never fully explained. You carry prayers that seem to rise and disappear into silence. And when you are alone, all of it becomes louder. That is why the enemy has tried to use these quiet moments against you. He waits until you are tired. He waits until your heart is unguarded. He waits until the world grows silent, and then he tries to fill that silence with fear. He tells you that you are unseen. He tells you that no one is coming. He tells you that you have prayed too long. He tells you that I am not listening. He tells you that the loneliness you feel is proof that you have been forgotten. But my child, those are not my words. I do not speak to you with despair. I do not lead you into hopelessness. I do not use your loneliness to shame you. I do not stand far away while your heart breaks in silence. I am near. I am closer than the thoughts that have been troubling you. I am closer than the fear that has been whispering to you. I am closer than the darkness that has tried to make this room feel empty. This room is not empty. I am here. I saw how you arrived at this place. I saw the years of trying to be strong. I saw the moments when people needed you, but you also needed someone. I saw the times you smiled while feeling forgotten. I saw the nights when your faith felt tired, not because you stopped loving me, but because life had pressed on you for too long. If this word is touching your heart, write this short prayer in the comments. Stay, Lord. Let it be your invitation. Let it be your invitation. Because I am not asking you to explain everything right now. I am not asking you to pretend your heart is fine. I am only asking you to let me come close in the place where you have felt most alone. Do not hide from me in this silence. Do not believe the lie that your loneliness makes you less loved. I am speaking to you here. I am meeting you here. And I know the long road that brought you into this quiet pain. And I know the long road that brought you into this quiet pain. My child, you did not become this lonely in one moment. This heaviness did not appear in your heart overnight. It was formed slowly, through days when you had to keep going even though something inside you was tired. It was formed through seasons when you needed support, but instead you had to be the one holding everything together. It was formed through conversations that became shorter, prayers that became quieter, and disappointments that taught you to expect less. You kept living. You kept working. You kept answering messages. You kept helping people. You kept doing what had to be done. But inside, something was becoming quieter. Your hope was not gone all at once. Your faith did not weaken in a single day. The enemy did not always attack you with something loud or obvious. He worked in small ways, through pressure, through exhaustion, through the feeling that no one truly understood what you were carrying. He used the daily weight of life. He used the bills that made your chest tighten. He used the responsibilities that gave you no room to breathe. He used family concerns, health worries, work pressure, relationship pain, and the uncertainty of tomorrow. He used the moments when you were physically present with others, but emotionally alone. He used the silence after a long day, when you finally had time to feel everything you had been pushing down. And little by little, your heart began to withdraw. You stopped expecting people to notice. You stopped trying to explain what you felt. You stopped saying everything that was on your mind because you learned that not everyone listens with care. You began to carry your pain in smaller sentences. You began to answer, "I'm okay," even when your spirit was aching. You began to smile out of habit, not because your heart was light. I saw that. I saw the slow closing of your heart. I saw when you began to protect yourself by needing less. I saw when you told yourself not to hope too much, not to trust too quickly, not to ask for help too often. I saw when you started believing it was safer to be silent than to be misunderstood again. But silence can become heavy when it lasts too long. And the enemy has tried to turn that silence into a prison. He has whispered to you in the quiet, "No one is coming." He has whispered, "You are on your own." He has whispered, "God has other people to help." He has whispered, "Your prayers are too weak." He has whispered, "If Jesus were really near, you would not feel this alone." But my child, those whispers are not truth. They are attacks against your trust. They are arrows aimed at the place in you that still wants to believe. They are lies designed to make your loneliness feel like proof that I have left you. But I have not left you. I have been with you in every season, even the ones where your heart could not feel me clearly. I know how tired you are from being strong. I know how often you carry emotional weight while still doing ordinary things. You may sit at a table, lie in bed, wash dishes, drive home, answer a call, or walk through your home like everything is normal. But inside, your thoughts are moving, your heart is heavy, and your spirit is asking questions you do not always have the courage to speak. Why do I feel so alone? Why does no one really see me? Why is it so hard to pray like I used to? Why does God feel far away? I hear those questions, even when you do not say them out loud. I hear the prayer beneath your silence. I hear the ache beneath your routine. I hear the cry beneath your tired breathing. Nothing in you is hidden from me. You have been living with two kinds of loneliness. There is the loneliness outside of you. The loneliness that comes when people are distant, when support is thin, when the room is quiet, when no one checks in deeply, when the people around you do not understand the weight inside your heart. But there is also the loneliness inside of you. That is the loneliness that grows when you stop opening your heart. It grows when you stop expecting comfort. It grows when disappointment teaches you to numb your feelings. It grows when prayer feels harder because a part of you is afraid to hope and be disappointed again. This is the loneliness the enemy has been trying to deepen. He does not only want you alone in a room, he wants you alone in your faith. He wants you to stop reaching for me. He wants you to believe that I am distant. He wants you to become so tired that prayer feels pointless. He wants you to fill the silence with distractions until my voice becomes harder to recognize. He wants your heart so crowded with fear that my peace feels unfamiliar. But I am reaching for you now. I am calling you back from that place. Not with anger, not with shame, not with condemnation, with love. Because I understand what brought you here. I know the pressures that made you tired. I know the losses that made you guarded. I know the unanswered questions that made your faith feel fragile. I know the moments when you wanted to trust me, but your pain answered louder than your faith. And I am not judging you for that. You are not a failure because you feel lonely. You are not faithless because you are tired. You are not rejected because you have struggled to feel my nearness. You are wounded. You are weary. You are human. And you are still mine. I want you to understand the condition you are in, because naming it is the beginning of healing it. You have been carrying too much alone. You have been surviving more than resting. You have been functioning more than receiving. You have been listening to fear more often than you realize. And every hour that the enemy tried to pull you farther into isolation, I was still there, guarding the small flame of faith inside you. That flame is not dead. It may feel weak, but it is still there. That is why this message found you. That is why your heart has not fully turned away. That is why something inside you still wants to hear my voice, even after all the heaviness, even after all the silence, even after all the moments you wondered if I was still near. My child, I am still near, and now I want to speak deeper into the pain you have been carrying alone. And now I want to speak deeper into the pain you have been carrying alone. My child, there are parts of your loneliness that did not begin in this room. They began in moments you rarely talk about anymore. They began in places where you expected support but received silence. They began when you opened your heart and felt misunderstood. They began when someone you trusted became distant, when promises weakened, when conversations changed, when the people who once felt close slowly became harder to reach. You tried to tell yourself it did not hurt that much. You tried to move on. You tried to keep your life together. But I saw what those moments left inside you. I saw how each disappointment became one more reason to be careful. I saw how each unanswered message, each broken expectation, each lonely night, each season of carrying too much made you withdraw a little more. You did not become guarded because you wanted to be cold. You became guarded because your heart had been touched by too much pain without enough comfort. And when comfort did not come from people, you tried to comfort yourself. You stayed busy. You kept the noise on. You checked your phone. You filled the room with sound. You tried to distract your mind from asking the questions that hurt too much to answer. You told yourself that you were fine, that you were strong, that you did not need anyone to understand. But in the quiet, the truth returned. The fear returned. The fear returned. The thought returned that maybe you were easier to forget than you wanted to believe. My child, I saw every part of that. I saw when loneliness stopped being only about people and became something deeper inside your soul. It became the feeling that even if someone stood beside you, they might not truly know you. It became the fear that if you spoke honestly, your pain would be too much. It became the habit of keeping your heart small so it would not be disappointed again. And in that hidden place, the enemy began to work. Not always loudly, not always in a way you could recognize. He worked through the thoughts you repeated when you were tired. He worked through the heaviness that came late at night. He worked through the memories that returned when you were alone. He worked through the pressure that made you feel like prayer was one more thing you were failing at. He whispered, "You are alone." Then he waited. He whispered, "No one really understands you." Then he waited. He whispered, "God has been silent too long." Then he waited. He whispered, "Maybe you should stop expecting anything." And slowly, those whispers tried to build a wall between your heart and me. This is how he tries to steal faith. Not always by making you reject me at once, but by making you too tired to reach for me, too disappointed to hope, too distracted to listen, too ashamed to pray honestly, too overwhelmed to feel my presence, too overwhelmed to believe that I am still near. He has tried to make your loneliness feel like evidence. Evidence that you were forgotten. Evidence that your prayers did not matter. Evidence that your past has damaged too much. Evidence that your future will look like your pain. But my child, listen to me. Loneliness is not evidence that I have left you. Weariness is not evidence that your faith is dead. Silence is not evidence that heaven has turned away. You have been in a battle for your trust. You have been in a battle for your hope. You have been in a battle for the part of you that still believes I am good, I am near, and I am not finished with your life. I saw the times you tried to pray but had no words. You sat there with your heart heavy, wanting to say something meaningful, but all that came out was a sigh. You wondered if that was enough. You wondered if I could hear a prayer that did not sound strong. I heard it. I heard the sigh. I heard the silence. I heard the tears you held back because you were too tired to cry again. I saw the moments when your faith felt like a small flame in a dark room. You wanted it to burn brighter, but the winds of life had been hitting it for so long. Work pressure, family burdens, financial concerns, health fears, old wounds, new disappointments, uncertain tomorrows, the quiet fear that you are falling behind while others seem to move forward. Each pressure pressed on your soul, and the enemy tried to use each one as a doorway. He tried to use your responsibilities to make you too busy for my presence. He tried to use your disappointments to make you suspicious of my goodness. He tried to use your loneliness to make you believe you were unseen. He tried to use your past to tell you that you were disqualified. He tried to use your tiredness to convince you that prayer would not change anything. But he cannot tell the truth about you. He can only twist what you feel. He can point to your pain, but he cannot define your story. He can remind you of your loneliness, but he cannot erase my presence. He can whisper in the room, but he cannot remove me from it. I was there when you sat alone and wondered why your heart felt so heavy. I was there when you lay awake replaying old conversations. I was there when you looked at your phone and felt the sting of not being remembered. I was there when you wanted someone to check on you without you having to ask. I was there when you tried to be strong for others while silently wishing someone would be strong for you. And I was there when you began to pull away from me, not because you stopped loving me, but because pain made my nearness harder for you to feel. I did not turn away. I did not condemn you. I did not call you unfaithful because you were weary. I moved closer. I moved closer when you were too tired to reach. I moved closer when shame told you to hide. I moved closer when the enemy tried to convince you that your silence had separated you from my love. There is a pain in you that comes from being unseen by people. But there is a deeper pain that comes from fearing you are unseen by me. That is the wound I am touching now. You have wondered, even if you did not say it clearly, Lord, did you see what happened to me? Did you see what I carried? Did you see the years I kept going? Did you see how hard I tried? Did you see how lonely I became while still trying to believe? Yes, my child. I saw all of it. I saw the visible battles and the invisible ones. I saw what others praised and what they missed. I saw your service, your endurance, your hidden tears, your quiet prayers, your disappointments, your waiting, and the small pieces of hope you kept alive even when everything inside you felt tired. Nothing was hidden from me. Not 1 hour, not one night, not one silent cry, not one moment when the enemy tried to pull you farther into darkness. I was guarding you even when you could not feel protected. I was holding the small flame even when you thought it was going out. I was keeping your heart from becoming completely hard, even when life gave you reasons to shut it down. That is why you are still here. That is why these words still reach you. That is why something in you still wants to believe. Because the enemy did not win. He wounded your confidence, but he did not take your belonging. He clouded your thoughts, but he did not erase my voice. He used loneliness to make you doubt my presence, but he could not make me leave you. My child, the hidden pain is real. The pressure was real. The loneliness was real. The battle was real. But so was my presence. And now I am asking you to let me reinterpret what the enemy tried to use against you. And now I am asking you to let me reinterpret what the enemy tried to use against you. My child, the loneliness that has hurt you is not the same as the lie the enemy attached to it. The loneliness is real. The ache is real. The quiet room, the heavy nights, the unanswered questions, the feeling of carrying life without enough support, all of that has been real. I will never ask you to pretend it did not hurt, but I am telling you this. Your loneliness is not proof that you are abandoned. It is not proof that I stopped listening. It is not proof that your prayers were wasted. It is not proof that you are unseen, unwanted, forgotten, or too far from me. That is what the enemy wanted you to believe. He wanted to take a painful season and turn it into a false identity. He wanted you to look at an empty room and call yourself unloved. He wanted you to look at quiet days and call your life meaningless. He wanted you to look at delayed answers and say, God must not care. He wanted your pain to speak against my love. But my child, pain does not get to define my heart toward you. Silence does not get to interpret my presence. Loneliness does not get to name your worth. I do, and I call you mine. What the enemy used to isolate you, I can use to draw you closer. What he used to make you doubt, I can use to deepen your trust. What he used to make you numb, I can use to awaken the places in your heart waiting for my touch. You thought this loneliness meant you were being left behind, but I saw a deeper work taking place. I saw the noise around you becoming quieter so you could hear what had been buried inside. I saw distractions that covered your wounds begin to lose their power. This does not mean the loneliness was easy. It means it was not empty. It means even here, I have been working. There are things I can show you in stillness that you could not receive in constant noise. There are wounds I can touch in solitude that you kept hidden when life was busy. There are fears I can expose so they no longer rule you from the dark. The enemy wanted you to be alone with his lies. But I came so you would be alone with my truth. He wanted the silence to feel like punishment. I want the silence to become a place of meeting. He wanted you to withdraw from prayer. I want to teach you that prayer can begin again with one honest sentence. He wanted you to believe that your faith was dying. I want you to see that even a small flame, held in my hands, can still burn again. If this message is helping your heart return, write this short prayer in the comments. Jesus, restore me. Let those words become a doorway, not a performance, not a perfect prayer, just an honest return. My child, you have been interpreting your season through exhaustion. You have been looking at your life through disappointment. When you are tired, even blessings can look far away. When you are wounded, even my nearness can feel hidden. When you are lonely, even love can seem difficult to trust. That is why I am speaking gently now. I am asking you to let me replace the enemy's interpretation with mine. He said, "You are forgotten." I say, "You are remembered." He said, "You are alone." I say, "I am with you." He said, "Your prayers have failed." I say, "I have heard every one." He said, "This season is empty." I say, "I am working in hidden places." He said, "Nothing will change." I say, "I am not finished with you." Do not mistake a quiet season for an abandoned life. Do not mistake emotional exhaustion for spiritual death. Do not mistake delayed answers for divine absence. I have been nearer than your feelings could recognize. I have been protecting the part of your heart that still belongs to me. Your loneliness is not your ending. It is not your name. It is not your future. It is a place I am entering with you. And when I enter a place, darkness does not get the final word. When I speak into a room, lies begin to lose their power. When I hold a heart, even a wounded heart can learn to trust again. So let me reinterpret this season. You were not abandoned. You were being reached for. You were not forgotten. You were being watched over. You were not too far gone. You were being called back. And even now, I am turning the place of loneliness into a place where you can meet me again. And even now, I am turning the place of loneliness into a place where you can meet me again. My child, I want you to understand what I am doing now. I am not only comforting you for this moment, I am restoring what loneliness, pressure, disappointment, and the enemy's lies have been trying to steal from your heart over time. I am restoring your ability to trust. I am restoring your desire to pray. I am restoring the quiet place inside you where my voice can be heard again. For so long, the enemy tried to make your loneliness feel like a wall between you and me. He tried to use the silence of your home, the heaviness of your thoughts, the unanswered questions, and the absence of human comfort to convince you that I had become distant. But I am telling you now, that wall is not stronger than my love. I can reach you here. I can heal you here. I can speak to you here. I can bring peace into the very room where fear has been speaking for too long. You do not need to wait until you feel strong before you return to me. You do not need to wait until your emotions are organized. You do not need to wait until you understand why everything happened the way it did. Come to me while you are still tired. Come while your heart still feels heavy. Come while your questions are still unfinished. I am not asking for a perfect prayer. I am asking for your honest heart. Say to me, "Lord, I feel alone." Say to me, "Jesus, I have been tired." Say to me, "I do not want to drift away anymore." Say to me, "Teach me to trust you again." Those simple words matter to me. The enemy wanted you silent because he knows honest prayer breaks the power of hidden pain. He knows that when you bring your loneliness into my presence, loneliness loses its authority. He knows that when you name the lie begins to weaken. He knows that when you call on me, darkness cannot keep pretending it owns the room. So begin there. Do not run from the quiet. Meet me in it. Do not fill every silent moment with noise just to avoid the ache. Let me sit with you in the ache. Turn off what keeps your soul numb for a little while. Put down what pulls your attention away from me. Step away from the voices that make you feel smaller, colder, more hopeless, or more forgotten. Not everything that fills the silence heals the silence. Some distractions only cover the wound while the wound keeps growing underneath. I want to heal what has been covered. I want to touch what has been buried. I want to speak truth where the enemy planted fear. My child, when you feel loneliness rising again, do not immediately agree with it. Pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, what is this loneliness trying to tell me? If it tells you that you are unloved, reject that lie. If it tells you that no one sees you, remember that I do. If it tells you that your prayers have no power, remember that heaven hears even your whisper. If it tells you that you are too far from me, remember that I am the one who came close first. You are not fighting this battle alone. I am teaching you how to guard your heart. There will be moments when the old heaviness tries to return. A quiet night may try to pull you back into overthinking. A memory may try to reopen a wound. A delay may try to make you question my goodness again. Someone's absence may try to convince you that you do not matter. When that happens, do not let the enemy finish the sentence. Let me speak the truth. You are loved. You are held. You are remembered. You are not alone. You are still mine. My peace will not always come like thunder. Sometimes it will come like a gentle breath, a small calm in your chest, a softened thought, a quiet strength to get through the next hour, a reminder to pray instead of panic, a desire to open your heart again when you thought it was sealed forever. Do not despise small signs of healing. A moment of peace matters. One honest prayer matters. One night where you do not surrender to the lie matters. One choice to reach for me instead of running into distraction matters. One tear released in my presence matters. These are not small things to me. They are signs that your heart is beginning to return. And as you return, I will guide you. I will guide you gently, not harshly. I will not rush the healing of a heart that has carried too much for too long. I will not shame you for needing time. I will not condemn you for needing comfort. I will walk with you through this. There may still be quiet rooms, but they will not have the same power over you. There may still be lonely nights, but they will not define you. There may still be unanswered questions, but they will no longer be allowed to convince you that I am absent. I am going to teach you to recognize my nearness again. In the morning, before the weight of the day speaks, give me one honest breath. Before you reach for distraction, reach for my presence. Before you agree with fear, remember my truth. Before you call yourself forgotten, remember that I have called you mine. Let your home become a place of return. Let your room become a place of prayer. Let the silence become a place where my voice can be heard again. And when you feel too weak to pray, simply say my name, Jesus. That name is enough to open the door of your heart. That name is enough to remind the darkness that it does not have authority over you. That name is enough to bring your attention back to the one who has never left. My child, I am preparing restoration inside you, not only around you, but within you. I am restoring the part of you that stopped expecting comfort. I am restoring the part of you that became afraid of hope. I am restoring the part of you that began to believe solitude meant abandonment. It did not. I was with you then. I am with you now, and I will be with you in every step that follows. The enemy tried to use loneliness to make you drift away from me, but I am using this moment to call you back. Back to trust, back to prayer, back to peace, back to the safety of my presence. So take my hand again, not with perfect strength, not with perfect understanding, just with a willing heart. I will lead you from this heaviness one step at a time. I will teach your heart to rest again. I will make my voice clearer than the lies. and I will turn this lonely place into holy ground. And I will turn this lonely place into holy ground. My child, before you leave this moment, I want you to guard what I have spoken into your heart. Do not let the enemy steal this word from you the moment the silence returns. Do not let old thoughts rise again and tell you that nothing has changed. Do not let loneliness speak louder than my presence. Do not let the darkness convince you that you are still forgotten after I have reminded you that you are mine. This is where you must stay awake in your spirit, because the enemy will try to pull you back into the same pattern. He will try to use another quiet night, another unanswered message, another heavy thought, another memory, another moment of exhaustion to make you doubt what I have spoken. But you do not have to agree with him anymore. When he says, "You are alone," remember my voice. When he says, "No one sees you," remember, my eyes have never left you. When he says, "God is far away," remember that I met you right here. When he says, "Your faith is too weak," remember that I am holding the flame. So pray with me now. Lord Jesus, I give you this loneliness. I give you the silence that has felt heavy. I give you the fear that has spoken too loudly. I give you the pain I have carried without words. I give you the disappointments that slowly made me withdraw. I give you the thoughts that have pulled me away from your peace. Come into this room. Come into my heart. Teach me to trust you again. Guard my mind from every lie. Restore my faith where it has grown tired. Remind me that I am not forgotten, not abandoned, and not alone. My child, I receive that prayer, not because it was perfect, but because it was honest. And honesty opens the door for healing. I am with you in this room. I am with you in the silence. I am with you in the places where others did not see your pain. And I will keep leading you back to my peace, one breath, one prayer, one moment at a time. If this message touched your heart, leave this short prayer in the comments. Jesus, stay near. Let it be your declaration that loneliness will not have the final word. And if this message helped you feel seen by God, like this video, share it with someone who may be alone tonight, and subscribe for more messages of faith, healing, and hope. You are not alone. You were never alone. I am here, and I am not leaving you.